Okay, in Parshas Boy. So here you see, an amazing thing. You say that 4/5 of the Yidden died from Makas Choshech. And Rashi says because they didn't want to leave Mitzrayim. I mean, look, they stopped the slavery in Mitzrayim already for a few months. Country, Mitzrayim, beautiful country, by the way. No, it's nice, let's be here. So, these Rishoyim don't want to leave, die. Pashup Pshat is simple. I mean, what's a Yid's tachlis of this world? To serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You don't want to go out and serve Hashem and the Har Sinai. So you just have no tachlis in the world. So what's the purpose of being here? So you just lost the right to live. And just you're not gaining, you're not doing. But let's just picture what's going on anyway. So 4/5 of the Jews died. I mean, there's tremendous amount of people in the Makav Choshech. So it's in a sense, it's more than the Holocaust in 3 days. Imagine seeing so many Yidden died. I mean, people had to be buried. The sheer amount of labor and work. And also, now, what's the Yid do? He's asked to go into the neighbor's house because you're going to check to see where the jewelry is, the gold and silver. Then much better say the Lashon Medaber, no. So, what's no? You have to please go and get the gold and silver. Can you imagine after such a Holocaust? Can you guys go get gold and silver and the other good stuff? Gold and silver. I mean, you're talking about Avelus, you're talking about mourning. Millions of Yidden gone. To have the frame of mind to walk into a neighbor's house and to look for gold and silver. In that moment, it's petty, it's meaningless. It's gold and silver jewelry. You're talking about it being in the slavery, you're going to leave Mitzrayim, just get out, let's go. And imagine this picture also. You're ready going in and see the gold and silver. No, so you look in the drawer, you see the gold and silver. Take it. If you're ready there, can you imagine the number one, the Kiddush Hashem that took place over here? Because when they did go to ask the gold and silver, the Mitzri says, I don't have any jewelry. He says, what about the night table, second drawer? Behind over there was a piece. Right, I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, of course. So, every Jew, so imagine every Mitzri knows that a Yidden walked into the house in Makas Choshech and they could have taken anything. Slipped into the pocket, nobody ever know, no one ever find them. They would take anything they want. Nobody took a thing. And nobody went over to a Mitzri that looked like a statue because it was frozen in the darkness. And you know, you can get riled up and angry. This is my tormentor. Smash him! Nobody did anything to anybody. People were, just the sheer Kiddush Hashem that took place from this matzah. But now, on top of that, like you say, the Yid goes in this frame of mind to do, why? Because Hashem said so. Hashem says, please, they went. That's the kayach of the Yid that you see also after the Holocaust. You see Yidden that survived. What they do? They built new families. They built up Taras HaKodesh, the Emunah, what they instilled in the new generation to come, with all the terrible baggage that they had. But that's the Yid. You see the kayach of the Yid, even in our times, how the Yidden were able to end up. Look, the Doris that we're living today is all thanks to these survivors that came out from the worst Holocaust, man. And they're able to come through. This not in 3 days of Holocaust, 5 years of Holocaust, 6 years, from the whole build-up and the whole enmity, and they can come forth to build up a generation that we're living on today. It's Noir Vayim to appreciate what Klal Yisrael is and what we have within ourselves. You see, though, that the Yid is a Ratzon Hashem, that the fact that a person is able to find himself, that's the greatest simcha also, that's the gula of what takes place is in the Jew himself. That he's able to continue weiter, it's l'shabeach, it's to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu of what Klal Yisrael is, that we should be able to realize that. Now it's interesting, the fact that the 4/5 of the Jews did not see this matara, the purpose of leaving Mitzrayim to go to Tavdan Salakim Harazeh. But after Makas B'chayros, was the pasuk say, hey, we got Erev Rav. Oh, the Erev Rav. Multitude of nations were there in Mitzrayim, and they joined the Jews on their exodus as they left Egypt. Now, it seems that they also suffered Makas B'chayros. Anybody who was there, Bechor, besides being Gidden, were killed. No one should ever say their deity and there's the Avadim and there's... So, it's pretty amazing. Here, the Bechor dies. No, it's within hours. And the Jews, all of a sudden, in the morning, all the Jews of mass exodus. Everybody's leaving. All the Yidden are going out of Mitzrayim. And the Goyim come running to join the Yidden. Eruv Rav. You just had a personal, terrible tragedy. Going on with the Jews. What happened? The guy saw such clarity of the emes. How can you not join? So where they go into the midbar with the Jews. I mean, it's no Rebbeim. Lech techach Rabbi Midbar. You, Klal Yisrael, get to sing the praises of Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're coming out into the midbar with me. It's Avos Klulei Sayach, the love of you, the Kluleis that we have, that marriage engagement of Klal Yisrael. And the Mitzri, the Eruv Rav, tagging along into a desert. What are they taking with them? And they didn't have that Naneh covered in the desert. Naneh covers for Klal Yisrael. We're protected from Naneh covers. So these the boiling hot sun during the day, the cold at nights, the animals, the desert things, was the protection for the Eruv Rav. What do we see, interestingly, throughout? Eruv Rav, troublemakers. Eruv Rav, they didn't make it into Eretz Yisrael. They died out, or whatever happened to them throughout the times. But you don't ever see them being praised either. I would think they're giving up everything to go into the desert with Klal Yisrael. I mean, how come? If I can, we look at it as Hashem tells Moshe, Shichei Samcha, your people are corrupted. They made the Hegel over here. So, you didn't ask me. You took them in. I mean, they want to join Klal Yisrael. You don't see it. Why don't they get praised? I mean, what do you see? The guy has that clarity. Why? Because we've said that in the past. Rav Gifta said over, like he used to walk in the B'chanan and tells, and the guy would step back in awe and reverence of B'chanan. But Rav Gifta would talk to him in learning. Obviously, the B'chanan is a Kaddish Elyon, and Tzaddik Yisrael, Tamachach Muflag. But he felt that he could talk to him in learning. He was speaking to him. Reverence that the guy had about him. How come I didn't have the same reverence? He said the guy is total opposite. There's no shaykhs to Kedusha. You see Kedusha, you hit you straight in the face. You step back, you're awed. But somebody who's, we're called Be'ervuvia. We're the Ervuvia. We see Kedusha. We also see other things besides Kedusha. We see other things that it's already gets us involved with. It so blurs our vision. You don't see that same contrast. When the Eruv Rav saw everything taking place at Klal Yisrael, they saw the B'nai B'chor Yisrael. Kadosh Baruch Hu was coming for Klal Yisrael. They saw the Makkos, they saw the B'nai B'chor. Yeah, of course, everything. But the clarity was pure, clear. They, of course. Someone's giving me $1 million, take it. Of course I'm going to take the $1 million. It's going to be hard. I have to go, okay, but I want the $1 million. They saw that Kadosh Baruch Hu is the nice that Torah is, he's B'chor B'amo Yisrael. When it's so clear to you, so clear, like we talked last week about human nature, but something's open in front of your eyes in such a way which was so stark reality, at this moment of time, they saw this is it. But Klal Yisrael, we have the Yitzhar. The Yitzhar is not out to get the guy. The Yitzhar is out to get us. He's the one that's fighting with us the whole time. He blurs our vision. He's the one that makes us 4/5 couldn't see this whole clarity. Because that's the Yitzhar's prime target. He comes along and makes us have the problems because we are the ones who have to contend with the Yitzhar. We have to. That's our challenge. We have to overcome it. Everything that we do is an obstacle because we have to work. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us that tafkid, and we have to be the ones to recognize that B'nai B'chor has to come through avodah. Has to come by Mamelus. Every aspect, every part. And the fact that we can go Lechtech Acharei B'Midbar Be'etz Lo Zerua, that's Klal Yisrael reached such a level. We're in the Kura Barzel of Mitzrayim, that we were put down for 210 years, stamped down, and to be able to come off, we have no concept of means to leave slavery and to move into such a Aman Nivchar status of Klal Yisrael. Mem Teshari Tumah that we were in, that what we are, and where we were in Mitzrayim, how that affected us, and now to be able to rise to the occasion every time we do something, it's Gevaldig Nachas HaKadosh Baruch Hu. if we understand that that's our challenge, everything is that the Yetzer Hara is there to get us, it's out to get us, we'll have to be a different type of preparedness. And we understand that that's the whole tachlis, is to go for us, that they could have a whole world out there. It's not the gay, it's the gay of the Yid. And that's what Rashi said. We said everything is for Klal Yisrael, that the fact that the Ummah Yisrael are getting punished is to give us. So we have to wake up to all these things. It's for a matter that we should be in recognition of what that's all about. Now, it also shows us that the Mitzrayim, Paro gets up in the middle of the night, Makas B'chayros. So we all say the famous Chaim Shulevitz. Where did he get up from? Yochim Paro, Rashi says, Mimita. So he got up from his bed. What was he doing in bed? It's Makas B'chayros. Again, Moshe has a track record. Every Maki said was coming too. So not only did he get up from his bed, it says in the pasuk he went to he wake up his avodim, and he went to wake up Mitzrayim. Everybody's sleeping. The whole Makas B'chayros, everybody was sleeping. The whole place. So you can understand Pshat. I think the Ramban, whoever says it, that when did Moshe Rabbeinu tell Mitzrayim they're going to have Makas B'chayros? Ostensibly, it was then still by Makas, after Makas Choshes. So it's really a couple of weeks in advance. So what happens is, Moshe Rabbeinu said Makas B'chayros is coming. So I guess the first night the guy went terrified. What's going to be tonight? Nothing happened. Next night, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay, people get lulled into this sense of security. It's not happening yet. Okay, Mishluftzach. The night of Makas B'chayros, they were sleeping. Paro had to wake up. Someone died. His firstborn. Hey, he wakes up his avodim, and then the hue and cry came out. And then the old guy, excited and nervous, get out. Okay. But what's the message? The message is the same thing. Like I said, it's all Chaim Stein said, it's all Torah teaching us. We know the Gula is coming. I'm going to wait for him every day. We know it's coming, but we weren't told it's coming today. Well, Paro didn't know he's coming that night. Didn't know which night it's going to be. All right. We get weiter, Mishluftzach. We know he's coming. So what's the message? Get ready. Were they ready? They were ready. So same thing. If we know he's coming, what we do, we have to get ready. And you keep seeing Simanim. They had Makkahs happening, 12 Makkahs. The 10 Makkahs, each one came along, and there's in a sequence of going on. So we see Simanim. We see also, right? Rabbi Eli Yelen Bo have Simanim, the Tzachadash B'achav, Simanim. So there's Simanim that's taking place in the world. We look at the Psukim and Navi, we look at the Chazal and the Gemaras, and they tell us the things that are happening. It's to wake up. It's going to happen. But we are also in that mode of lulled into it didn't happen yet today. It was yesterday. When's it? So in a sense, it's also shlufim. But when it's going to come, okay, we're going to get up. What do we do now? Hachana for the Gula has to be preparedness. That means that if we anticipate it, we become that we yearn for it, and we have the Hachana, because the more Hachana you put in, the more revelation the person takes from it. Because the person is not ready to see what he wants to see, doesn't know what he's looking for. So it can pass right by. But if a person is Mukhan, is anticipating it, so firstly, the Simcha itself becomes much more magnified. I'm waiting for this all this time, and I finally got it. The Simcha is the joy, the ecstasy is going to be Chen Tzadikim, Yirav Yismachu, that Hergish we had by the Siyam Hashas, people, the ecstasy, people dancing from the Simcha of Torah. Who would ever believed in a million years that this could be United States of America, and just in one place, 90,000 Yidden dancing for Torah. That's all they were dancing, the sheer Simcha from that. That's a prelude. Mashiach's going to come. Klal Yisrael's going to be ecstasy from the dancing, from the Simcha. It's here. The matzah of something that she couldn't fathom ever would be such a thing in the United States of America. And that took place. It's happening. And you saw it. So this type of gilui that we should be able to be zeicha. And you know what the gilui is? And we say in Haggadah that matzah, why do we eat matzah? Because Hashem, shlehispik b'tzeikom. The dough didn't have time to rise. That's Nigla aleim melech malchei amlachim Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu revealed himself to them. What happened? In the morning, because the Issachar Chametz came off by the morning, because there's only one day Pesach in Mitzrayim. So by the morning, there's no Issachar Chametz. So now, bake bread. So they started to bake bread. They didn't have time for it to rise. How long is it? 18 minutes? So by 18 minutes, they're already out. The Mitzrayim, we're pushing them out.
How'd they get out? What's the Gilui? When the Mitzri came along and pushed the Jew out, go out, leave. The guy telling the Jew to leave is Gilui Melech Malchem Lachem. So when we find what we call now anti-Semitism, that the Goyim are harassing us, that's Gilui Melech Malchem Lachem. That means we're saying that we don't belong here. We belong in Atzei Nagdosha, belong back home with HaKadosh Baruch in his Beis HaMikdash and serving him there. It's Gilui Melech Malchem Lachem. The guy tells the Jew, we don't belong here. That we recognize that as Gilui. And that we then take that and we use that for ourselves to be Mizgale, our own Pnimius, that Ritzanei L'as Ritzanecha Sa'ar Shebe'isa Ma'akev. It's the Yitzhar that Sa'ar Shebe'isa is holding us back, but we get rid of this Sa'ar Shebe'isa when it's B'chi Pazayim and it comes so quick we don't have enough time to let it rise. We can capture that Geula aspect that we should be Zoicha to Geula Shleim.